Hey guys, Mark Holthe here. I just want to jump on as the founder of this group and show you that I am alive. I am actually doing things and participating in the group. It's just that with 115,000 people, not everybody can see it. So I'm experimenting a little bit with answering comments via video. Now, this is not the most efficient way of doing it, but anybody can type in a few comments, throw down a few words, and I'll be honest, I've been checking out some of the other Express Entry groups or Immigration Canada Facebook groups out there. And my goodness, guys, I know why our group is 115,000 strong. Because when you guys answer, you actually take the time to provide a link back to where that information can be found. Or you actually give a complete answer and take into consideration as many of the individual circumstances as the person who is asking it as possible. So this question is one that actually justified doing a whole video on it. But I thought, you know what? Rather than making it complicated, I'm just going to answer this question directly. So I'm going to jump right to my screen. I'm going to share it with you guys. And in fact, I'm actually going to share my entire screen. So bear with me. There's a lot going on here, but there's a reason I've got multiple things going on. So bear with it. I'm actually going to flip over to this page. So here's the question. So the question is, and I think you guys can still see it with my ugly mug here. Let's see if I can push this over. Probably can't. Let's see if I can increase this one. Oh, I can make it a little larger. Yeah, there we go. You guys can kind of see. Okay, so this question is from Naveen. And Naveen here says, please have a look at my responsibilities. Do they match NOC 1311? Okay, I'm going to flip over here. I'm going to pull up NOC 2016. This is how I do it, guys. If you're having a consultation with me, this is how I do it. So then I go into here and I'm looking for NOC 1311, pulling it up. So there we go. Bookkeeper. That's what he is. So we want to keep and pay attention to that because these ones right here, main duties and lead statement, that's what drives the ship. So let's take a look at the question. So he says, can you have a look at this? And if the format of the reference letter is okay, or I need to include anything else. Now, what I want to show you guys is the responses. So this is 17 hours ago, and this is the first time that I'm seeing it. So understand, this is not something that I see, that half of the time I don't see your comments anymore. Facebook doesn't allow me to see them. So don't blame me for not answering your questions. All right, so we won't look at his reference letter just yet, but I want to show you guys the comments, okay? So we've got, he says, Devinder, please advise, and obviously Devinder hasn't responded to this one yet. Simran says, get this on your company's letterhead. Yes, you do need that on your company's letterhead. So we'll just go through these and then I'll show you exactly what the letter needs to look like. Linda says, it has all the required details. It's okay. And Naveen says, thanks, Linda. And obviously Linda is not entirely correct, but that's okay. And then Mohit gets into some of the minutia, I call it, which are completely irrelevant and the officers don't even care. But to whom it may concern, please correct it. Give me a break. That adds absolutely nothing to the letter. Sure, it might look pretty, but an officer could care less. And then he says, is the rest all okay? Well, that was all Mohit was able to offer there, but that's okay because he gave a good try. And then we get Singh who comes in and says, information is not enough and you need to include a proper wording plus correct heading. Okay, well, what the heck does that mean? Singh, that does not help at all because it doesn't give him any direction other than saying it's not good enough. So you can see Naveen says, information? What else I need to add? You're right, Naveen. And so you guys can see why this is so complicated. Then Singh comes in here and fortunately answers, although Singh didn't really pay attention to the letter itself. Job full-time or not? How many hours in a week? Okay, well, let's go back here right up to the top and I'll show you right here. You can see hours, 48 hours per week is listed there. So not sure why that's missing. And then it's more like a declaration than an employment letter. So change the title. Okay, well, who cares what the title says? It's completely irrelevant. You need more details on the position and responsibilities. Well, we'll see. I'm not so sure about that. And then Singh says, add a date of birth with the name. Freak, there's no obligation to add dates of birth in here. All of those things are formalities that don't really add anything to the reference letter. The most important thing that you guys have to understand is that the reference letter, no matter what letter you do, it's really truly from the employer, that it's the way they do letters, that it's not following some some format that's the same for every single person. IRCC, the visa officers, could care less. What are they looking for? They're looking for what I have here on the right. And on the right here, I've actually provided the address. And I think what I might even do is I'm going to copy this and I'm going to post it right in live while this is a recording. I'm going to put it right in here as my own comment to this lovely thing. I'm going to stick it right in there. It's long and complicated, but anyways, he'll wonder why the heck I'm posting this now, but that's okay. He'll figure it out later. Because hopefully as soon as I get this video done, I'm going to then post it up there. So we'll see if people actually respond and say, what the heck is this? Anyways, so the letter itself has to have the following things in it. So this is what we're looking for. Reference letter, okay? It has to be official document printed on company letterhead. So if we go back up here, and I don't want to be distracted, we go back up here and we pull this up. It's a little bit dark, but you guys will figure it out. So here's the letter. It should be on official document printed on company letterhead. Okay, so obviously this is a draft, so clearly it's not going to be on letterhead yet because he's still working on it. And like most of you guys out there, you have employers who say, I don't know what this is supposed to look like. Just do it up and I'll take a look at it and I'll sign it if I agree with it. So they want you to do the work. So that's very, very common. All right, so must include the applicant's name. Is the name anywhere? You bet, Mr. Naveen Kushal. The company's contact information, address, telephone numbers, email address. Okay, well, hopefully when we get the actual letter printed, it should have that information on it. So if I go here and then flip to the next page, yeah, you can see he's got email, contact Mr. Anup Bhatia. So that must be the supervisor. So that's going to be added in there, email and contact. And hopefully the company itself, it's going to be on letterhead. Okay, so we've got that. We've got the name, title, signature of the immediate supervisor. So let's take a peek here. Okay, so we've got the name, but we'll just need the title maybe of Mr. Anup there. That would be helpful as well. All right, so, and this is what I do, guys. Every single time, this is what I do. I go back to the government website. I never rely on any of my past precedents. Even though I know this hand, like just by like the back of my hand, I know this stuff. I never, ever, ever trust my memory. I always go back to the source. Okay, so then it should include all positions held. Well, we've got the designation, senior supervisor, special grade, senior bookkeeper. All right, looks good so far. And it must include, as you can see here, the following details. So job title, first thing, is there a job title here? You bet, it's right there. He calls it designation. Good enough for me. Duties and responsibilities. We'll get to this in a second because he's going to wonder, okay, he's wondering, is this really a bookkeeper? And it really doesn't match 1311 for bookkeepers. Okay, well, let's see. Duties and responsibilities, maintaining and balancing various books of accounts by using computerized systems, SAP and others, okay? And then he's got a bunch of other ones there. Looks like a lot of good duties there to me, but we'll see in a second. Next, job status. Is it the current job? Okay, full-time, date joining, June 26, 2013. So what am I missing here? Well, that's the date that he started. I have to assume, yeah, and you can see right here in the lead statement, Naveen Kushal is currently employed with the company, Arhant Spinning Mills, a unit of Vardham Textile Limited in Malarkotla, Punjab, India. Perfect. That's great. We'll want an address. But it looks so far so good. It's the current job. It says he's currently employed. Dates worked with the company. If he's currently employed, then obviously this is the start date. Currently employed means he's still working there. So far as I'm concerned, that covers off that one. Then the number of work hours per week. We've seen that, 48 hours per week. Fantastic. Annual salary plus benefits. Annual salary, 2.23 lakhs per annum. All right, guys. I don't see anything wrong with this letter. Is it pretty? No. Is it worded fancily? No. Is my brother trying to call me from Australia right now? Yes, but Danny, I'll have to wait for you. I'll get back to you in a second, my dear brother. And so really what it comes down to, the formalities, the substance of the letter is all there. Okay? It's all there. Many times it's not when I'm reviewing these for clients. So now it comes down to the job description. And many of you will know that in order to determine if you've got the correct knock, you need to make sure that you have performed all of the activities in the lead statement, so that's these here, accounting technicians and bookkeepers maintain complete sets of books, keep records of accounts, verify the procedures used for recording financial transactions, and provide personal bookkeeping services. They are employed throughout the private and public sectors, or they may be self-employed. Fantastic. Okay, so we've got that. And I think generally speaking, what he's got here in his letter probably meets that. But then we get to the main duties, and he needs to perform, as per immigration and refugee protection regulations, he needs to perform a substantial number of the main duties. So what is a substantial number? Well, it's probably not 50%. That would be like half. It's not most, so that would maybe be 60%. A substantial number, is it 90%? Well, maybe that's too many, but many people, and the catchphrase all over the internet and really amongst us immigration lawyers, it's about 75%. If you cross that threshold, then you're probably doing pretty good. So here's the description. Keep financial records, post journal entries, calculate and prepare checks, complete and submit tax forms, prepare tax returns, prepare other statistical and financial accounting records. Well, you guys don't want to sit here this whole time watching this video, because I know you have no patience half of the time to sit through all the videos that I do because they're just too long. But what you have to understand is I take every single one of these, and then I take keep financial records, this one here, and then I go over to the letter and I look in here and I see, okay, is there anything here that says keep financial records and establish, maintain, and balance various accounts? So maintain and balance various books of accounts. Ding, 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 ding. That one's cleared off. So I check it off. And then I go to the next page here and I go through each of these, and I'm not going to do it here. But I can tell you that when I go through what is here, it sure looks to me like Naveen's got a pretty good job description here. And like I said, this is not legal advice. I am not telling Naveen that this is good for immigration purposes, because I have not gone through it in detail, nor have I actually seen the final result after he gives it to his employer. This is his view of what his job might be, but he could give it to his employer, and his employer could say, no, I want to change this job description, this job description. So this is not legal advice, okay? This is using Naveen's example, which he posted on my Facebook group of 115,000 people for all of you to see. So therefore, I don't have any problems using it as my demonstration tool. But you can see here, I go through systematically each of these to make sure that they are actually covered off in the description. Do I want them to read the same? No, I do not want them to read exactly as the NOC description right here. If your duties are listed exactly as they're worded here, an officer is going to think, is this real? Or did the employer just make this up? Or you, employee, did you fabricate your duties to make it look like you're a bookkeeper and really you're not? You're some entry clerk. All right. Hopefully, guys, you've been able to see, you've been able to learn from this. And I'm going to jump back here with my ugly mug full speed. So hopefully you found that helpful. So that's how I approach assessing a reference letter to make sure that it is correct. But it's not only that. I want to jump back one more time to my full screen, and I'm going to flip over here to another link that I'm going to post right here on Naveen's page. If I can get out of this. Photos, let me see. How do I get back? Oh, I got to blow this up a little bit. Bear with me, guys. Oh, I made it too large. I got to find that X and then pull it back. So if I go back to Naveen's post, then I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm also, salary needs to be monthly. That's awesome. So then I go here and I punch this in here. And this is my how to draft an employer reference letter that works. So this is a blog post that I did a while back, but it covers off all of the different aspects of reference letters so that you guys can figure out for yourself the best way to assess whether or not it meets the minimum requirements of IRCC and that you've selected the proper NOC. Well, it's the reference letters more than anything, but that's what I will refer to you. And I'll look here. SEMA says salary needs to be monthly. Well, if we go back into here, and I'm going to jump right back into this page right here, it does say annual salary plus benefits. So salary needs to be monthly. Does it need to be monthly? That's not what this says. This says annual salary plus benefits. So in all honesty, SEMA, you're actually giving bad advice. Now, when it comes to the actual let's go back up here and look at what's here. It says 2.23 lakhs per annum. So you can see how if you're not referring back to the actual source of where you're getting the instructions from IRCC, you can really cause problems for someone. Now, Seema, I'm not saying that you can not put monthly salary down and get it correct. I'm sure an officer would probably get it and say that's fine and not demand annual salary. But why are they asking for an annual salary plus benefits? Well, because work experience is calculated annually. And so it's one other indication that this person has actually been employed continuously for the whole year. Now, it's not determinative, but there you go. Okay. And then there's Naveen. He doesn't even know I'm doing this awesome video, who says, thanks, Mark Holthe, sir. I'll respond here and say, you bet. I am just about to release a special a video to explain the exact process and why your reference letter is actually pretty good. Stay tuned. Actually, I'll put here, I will post this it's probably going to take me 4 minutes. All right, because this is a little bit longer. Okay, let's see what he has to say. Anyways, I'll leave that. So this is Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, showing you guys, including the world of YouTube, exactly how to review a reference letter to ensure it meets the minimum requirements of IRCC. And why in the world did I do that? And why did I give it away instead of charging people and being the money grubbing lawyer? Because that's what the other Facebook groups that I went in and checked out recently, that's what they said about this group. Mark is only here to line his own pockets with money, and he is only here to just not even help people, but it's all marketing and promotion. And the best part is, I read somewhere that someone said all of my moderators are just employees of my firm, which is hilarious because none of them are. They're all volunteers who are helping because this group is so awesome. Anyways, that's all I got to say for you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. Take care.